Morning.
2nd of September, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Um,
Hi, you called because you were gonna leave a package for Jane Menzel at my house. And I have to go now. So I'm not here yet, so oh, it looks like the package is here, another one.
Go.
Got to get another pair of glasses. Is one of the things that's fallen out.
Okay. We're ready to go over here. What do over here? We are up to the Itmar Nami. Did the Ikeda Amre? Oh, did we do the Rashi to the Ikeda Amre? Maybe we didn't do the Rashi today. What's Rashi gonna say?
All right, have another pen.
Oh, Rashi tells you really what's the significance of the Ikeda Amre. Okay, let's do. Okay, everybody, welcome back. For those who were not here yesterday, or even if they were, but they don't remember, we're holding in Ches Amid Base 8b, and we did the Ikeda Amre. We read the Ikeda Amre, and we have yet to read the Rashi to the Ikeda Amre. The Ikeda Amre, by the way, in Rashi is the first wide line of Rashi towards the bottom 20 wide lines of Rashi. And Rashi's going to tell us what's the significance of the Ikeda Amre. Everybody got the place?
Is there only one Ikeda Amri? The first wide line?
First wide line, yeah.
All right, okay.
First wide line of the Rashi.
Rav Yosef, Mashma Dinafshe, he teaches it in his own way. Nechazi, Anan, we see it. Va'amalei Abaye said to the Heichi Hashot. How do you explain the Rochev, the Rechuv, the one who's riding?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's Rashi revealed to us over here about the Ikeda Amre? Ikeda Amre means literally, there's those who say. There's those who say what? There's those who say that this whole discussion that took place, Masav Matan, give and take, between Rabbi Yosef and Rabbi Yehuda, that we saw previously, they have a different version of the discussion. So what exactly is the difference between what it says in the second version of the discussion as opposed to the first version of the discussion? Rashi tells us that here in the second version, in the Ikeda Amre, it's Rav Yosef, Mishmei de Nafshe. Rav Yosef, in himself, in his name, Kamar, he's the one who's credited with saying Nexe Anam. Let's take a look closer into this matter. What's the din over here with the guy who's riding on the animal? If he's going to be Kona, the animal, because he's riding on the animal. And we brought from the Mishnah in Klayim about somebody who's riding not on an animal, but he's riding in a carriage, which is being drawn by the animal. So that's the first thing Rashi says. And that's interesting because it's not even said in the Ikeda Amre at all, explicitly. We don't even say anything Nexe Anan in the Ikeda Amre. Whereas in the first version of the story, we had a whole few lines about the Nexe Anan and the Mishnah and everything, and so on and so forth. With who was the one who said that Nexe Anan? Was it Rav Yehuda, or was it really Rav Yosef himself who said it? So according to the second, according to our Ikeda Amre, there was no question. The only one who said it was Rabbi Yosef. Okay. Then Rashi says, Amalei Abaye Heichi Tifshot Rechov. How are you able to tifshot? Tifshot means to interesting. The root of the word lahafshit is to has different meanings. Over here, let's not get into a grammar discussion. Let's just say, how do you derive the din of the rider from the din of the sitter in the carriage? That's the main question that Abaya asks him. Okay. With that, we can continue on in the Gemora. Itmar Nami. So now, Itmar Nami is about 20 lines from the bottom of the page of Gemora, and the first words on that line are lo koni, and it says Itmar Nami. Do you see that place? Roy, do you see that place?
Lo koni Isma.
Itmar.
Itmar Nami. Yeah, got it. Itmar Nami, right. Yeah.
We're AB2, the right column, the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Am I supposed to read it? Or?
Yes,
No.
please.
The Gemara cites another Amoraic statement proving that taking hold of a found animal's bridle does not constitute a kinyan. Okay, is that the place where we are?
What's say?
Amar Rabbi Chelbo.
Itmanamid has also been said. Omar Rabbi Chelbo, Omar Rabbi Huna. Reb Chelbo said in the name of Rav Huna. Am I in the right place?
Yes,
Okay,
perfect.
good. Thank you. Mosara, concerning someone that takes hold of an animal's bridle. Machabayro, Kana, if he does so to acquire the animal from his fellow, he doesn't acquire it. So his intention is to take possession, he does. Metzia Nivasa Kage Lo Kane. But if he does so to acquire a found object or the possession of a dead or the possessions of a dead proselyte who left no heirs, he does not acquire.
Right. So this was the question that Rashi brought up in the previous Rashi. There seems to be a split in the din over here. It's not all the time that we say that taking hold of the bridles will not be a kinyan. That's what we were saying up until now, to explain that essentially there should be no difference in the din between the sitter in the carriage and the rider of the animal. Because even though the rider of the animal is taking hold of the bridle, that itself is no kinyan at all. And so therefore we could say that if we see in the case of the sitter in the carriage, he's not regarded as doing anything. So he's not going to be chayav for plowing with shor b'chamor yachtov, a shore and a donkey together. So too, he's also considered to not be doing anything in regard to the matter of making an acquisition just by taking hold of the bridle. But now what we're seeing is that if you take hold of the bridle, that's what Mosira is all about. If you take it from Chavero, if you take it not from Hefker, but you take it from your friend who wants to sell it to you or give it to you even as a present, so then we say taking hold of the bridle is a valid acquisition. It is a kinyan. The ones that are not a kinyan is when there's nobody that's giving it to you. He's taking it from as a Metzia, something that's basically something he finds in the street, or something nixia ger from a ger who is nifter and he doesn't have any heirs. So basically amounts to the same thing as being a ger, being hefker. Okay. So in that case, if there's nobody to give it to you, the taking of the reins of the bridle's the same thing as the reins?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Then it won't work. Then taking hold of the bridle is not strong enough, not good enough to make an acquisition.
You need to take hold of the bridle if you're going to drive the horse, to call it. If you're going to steer the horse, you need to have the bridle to show the horse which way to go. But so taking hold of the bridle is a normal thing for that.
Yeah, and therefore what?
Therefore,
What's
you would have to stipulate what you're taking it for. If you're going to take it to own it, but if you're not going to take it to own it,
no.
the normal
No, that's not the point over here.
What?
It's not the point over here.
Oh.
Even in these three cases that we mentioned, even if it's the intention, right? Even if it's the intention of the person who takes it, he finds it. In the case of Metzia, or he finds the Nixia ger, the animal. He finds it and he takes hold of the bridle with the intention of making a kinyan. Even in that case, he won't make a kinyan. So over here, we're not talking about, in this case, he didn't intend to make a kinyan. In that case, he did intend to make a kinyan. That's not the difference between these cases. Even in all three cases, even where he has intention to make a kinyan, he will only make a kinyan if by taking hold of the bridle, he's doing so as a response and a direction from the one who owns it, from Chavero, who is selling it to him or giving it to him. But if there's nobody there to give it to him, it won't work. Even if he wants to make it work, it won't work. That's the point.
Why?
What's that?
Why? What's the?
Why should it be? Why should it be like that? Well, it must be that we got to say that the just wanting to make the kinyan is not enough. He's got to receive it from the one who owns it. So if he receives it from the one that owns it, and he wants to make a kinyan, and he does this act of taking the bridle, so the das of the one who owns it is makna to him that ability to make that acquisition. But he himself, if there's nobody there there's no the owner is not there to be makna to him the animal to acquire it, so it's not good enough for him to just pick it up and take hold of the bridle. It's not doing anything.
So that would be the same thing in say in a shop where the person just bought something, he's left it on the counter to go and see for other things. You can't come up to the counter, say, oh, there's a nice product here. I'm lifting it up to take it to make a kinyan. That would be.
Well, that's actually if the first person already was Moshe it, he made a kinyan mashicha, so then it's already acquired to him.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't pay for it yet, and it's just sitting there, has he made any acquisition of it?
Yes.
Just by the fact that he put it down on the thing in order to pay for it?
Yeah, because the store, the seller would have handed it over to him.
Oh, you're saying because since the seller didn't hand it over to him.
The seller
Well,
handed it over to him.
See, what you're doing now is you're comparing the strength of kinyan mashicha to the strength of a kinyan mosira. It could be that they're exactly the equal strength, but it could be that they're not. In other words, could you make a kinyan mashicha on an item by picking it up from Hefker? Yes, you could. You could do that. So we see over there that kinyan mashicha picking it up, Kinyan Hagba, is a stronger Kinyan, really, than this Kinyan Mosira. Because by those other Kinyans, it doesn't make a difference whether there's somebody there to be maknet to you. You could do is even if it's hefker, you could pick it up with the intention to make a kinyan, and you got it. You could be moshech it, good kinyan meshicha with the intention to acquire it, and you got it. See, so it depends on the kinyan. Different kinyanim have different dinning. Okay. Okay, so we got some Rashis over here. Looks like we got a Rashi over here. A few Rashis, a few short Rashis. Is Lou around? Lou's not there. Okay.
Okay, so where am I? Which one? We just did the Iga de Amre.
So after that is Ed.
Ed. Okay, we're up to Ed. It's what?
Yeah, sorry, just a second. I'm right in the middle of the shirt. I'll just tell you the one Mishnah is the first shear. We'll speak about it. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Sorry. Yes, Ed.
It's a Shema Chacham. It's the name of a person.
Right.
Name. Then it says Mechavero is from his friend, is by Mecha Chemacha, with a a transaction,
Right.
And if it's Menachse Hager, it's possessions of a Ger, Shemate that died, Ein Lo Yorshim, and he doesn't have any inheritors. Chol HaKodem, anyone, the first come, first serve. If anyone who comes first, the Nichnaso in his to enter it, Zocha Behem, merits it. First come, first serve. If it's a ger, because nobody officially owns it, so anybody who gets it first wins, because he has no Yorshim to go to if he does.
Right. Remember, not every case of a ger who's nifter has no yorshim. The case that we're talking about in the Gemora, the ger has no yorshim. Why has he got no yorshim? Because what? Because he after the time that he became a ger, he didn't have any sons.
Mm-hmm.
Was not born to many sons. Even though he may have sons, a natural genealogical, what do you call it, sons, when he was a non-Jew, but they do not yarshin him. So, so this would be the case that we're talking about over here, I believe. Just thinking right now that, okay, I'm not going to make it complicated. I think that's right. But if he does have some, when he became a ger, he was 20 years old, he got married and had children, obviously he has descendants, he has heirs, according to the Torah, just like any other Jew. Okay, that's basically the point, right? Non-Jews don't inherit Jews, even if they may be genealogically related. Okay. Okay, fine. So now we go to the next part of the Gemora, my Lashon Mosera. And we go to Alan to continue the reading, please.
It's Alan, it's 8B3. The top left, 8B3. There's a sentence, there's a paragraph in English, and then Meilashon, the Sarah. Having 8B3, the top there is having shown that taking hold of a found animal's bridle does not constitute a kinyan. You got that? I don't know if you can hear us. Can't hear him.
Alan,
Can't
your
hear.
turn to read, Alan. Can't hear you. You don't have a mic, but we can't hear you. Oh, he's got to get closer to the computer. Oh, he's off. He's on. Okay. Okay, Alan, it's your turn. My Lashon Mosera. And where is that again, gentlemen?
The top left-hand corner of 8B to 8B3.
The top left-hand corner of 8B3.
There's an English paragraph, and then what we want. The English paragraph is a summary.
Oh, you could read the summary. Let's hear what Art Scroll has to say. Okay, Alan, your turn to read.
Can you hear me?
Almost.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
8B3. Have you shown that taking hold of found animal's bridle does not constitute a kinyan? More
Yeah.
Get it?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. The Gemara digresses to explain Rav Huna's distinction between acquiring a found animal and one belonging to someone else. The Gemara begins by analyzing the word maseria, the Hebrew term for bridle. My Lashon Marseira. What is the etymology of the word?
Oh.
The Hebrew equivalent of bridle. Omar Rava answered, Ed Asabora Lo. It explained this to me, but Odom Hamoser Dobar Viro. To transfer an animal to a purchaser, the seller hands him the bridle, just as when a person transfers Metzia, an object, to his fellow, he hands him the object itself. More shows how this explains Rav Huda's distinction. Pislor more, Machar Vivaro, Koni. Now it's understandable that from one's fellow, one acquires an animal when he takes hold of his bridle. Decor Mesar, way read. For his fellow travelers, Mosa, the animal to him when he hands him the bridle. Elor BCC or over the saw or but regarding a found animal or the possessions of a dead proselyte, main core morsar lay delete need who transfers the animal to him so that he can acquire it. Obviously, nobody. Consequently, if a person takes hold of a found animal's bridle, he does not acquire it. Gemora challenges Rav Yehuda's conclusion that even a lone rider does not acquire. Mesevi, they challenge Rav Yehuda's conclusion from a Mishnah. Shenayim, Rochavin, Al, Emi, more key. If two litigants come before the court riding on an animal, etc., each claiming that it is his, they must divide the animal. The Mishnah's ruling clearly indicates that riding an animal is an effective kinyan. Continue. Okay. Before posing this challenge, Gemora determines the authorship of the Mishnah. Minei, whose view does the Mishnah reflect? And more Rabbi Meir, if you say it is Rabbi Meir, this presents a difficulty. Tor, Yoshev, Konei, even if one that sits in a wagon acquires, as Rabbi Meir maintains, is there any question that a rider acquires as well? He absolutely does. If the Mishnah reflects Rabbi Meir's view, then this clause is redundant. Rabbi Meir already taught that a rider acquires. Okay. Top of the page, 8b3, right-hand column.
Okay, very good. So here we see that the Gemora really was bothered by Roy's question, wants to develop an answer to explain. And the question really is, what's the why should there be a difference between the cases that he's the taking the reins, the bridle will only work if there's if it's being given over by someone meaning the owner. But if it's not given over by anyone, then it doesn't work. Why should there be this distinction? So that's what the Gemora is saying over here. The whole definition of Moseira is that it's like the Gemara says, Ka'adam hamoser davar lechavero. It's the basis of the kinyan is because it's like the one person who owns it, he's giving it over to his friend, the second person, in order to make an acquisition. So the whole necessity of the acquisition is that the owner is giving it over. It's not it has to have that part of the equation. It's not enough for the owner. It's not enough for the person number two to just take the reins. It's got to be given to him by the one that owns it. Okay. So that will explain why he's not able to make a kinyan moseira from a Metzia or from Nixia Ger. Okay. Do we have any Rashi over here? Ma'u lashon Mosera. Phil.
Mahu Lashon Masera, what's the meaning of Masera? Well, there's the word Moser, transfer. Mosi, Shemosirim Oto, because he transfers it, well, the local to the purchaser.
Right. Okay, so then the Gemara asked a question on this explanation, because the Gemara brings our Mishnah, the Mishnah that says there was two people. That was one was riding on the animal, or two people was riding on the animal. Shnayim rochbin al gabe behema. Well, that one says v'chule. So actually, so we see from the Mishnah that the rochev is making a kinyan. The Mishnah says he's acquires, and really what, even though this is one of these tricky types of things, what the Gemara does over here, it quotes you the portion of the Mishnah that is not the portion of the Mishnah that you need to know in order to know what the Gemara is trying to do over here. The Gemara quotes the part of the Mishnah that says that there was two people that was riding on the animal. Then it has this v'chule, etc. Etc. means to say, it's a hint. It's telling you, don't look at what we wrote explicitly over here. That's just the beginning of that section of the Mishnah. But what we're really interested in is the case that we've been talking about all along. What's the case we've been talking about all along in the Mishnah? One of them is riding, and the other one is leading. You have a rachuv and you've got a manhi. And in that case, the Mishnah says yachloku. If they make a division, if they make a shvua. So that's what we're talking about. And the Gemara asks, Mani, who's the one who says this? Who's the author of this Mishnah? Whose opinion is this? The Gemara says, if you say it's Rebbe Meir, he's the one that said this din. So the Gemara says, what would we need Rebbe Meir to say this for? Hashti Yoshev Kani, Rachov mi boy. We already know from the Mishnah in Klayim that the Rav Yosef told us about, that Rav Yehuda told us about, that the guy that's even sitting in the wagon that's been drawn by the animal, that he makes a kinyan, according to Reb Meir, not according to the Chachamim, but according to Reb Meir, he does make a kinyan. We didn't focus on that point. We were talking about the Chachamim, but now we're saying that according to Reb Meir, he does. Even the one who's sitting in the cabin, in the cabbage, not the cabbage, the carriage, he makes a kinyan. So if that's the opinion of Rebbe Meir, he told us that in the Mishnah Klayim. Rachov mi boy, would we need to hear that the one that's actually riding on the animal, that he will make he makes a kinyan through acquisition, by means of Mosera? Certainly not. We wouldn't need that. Okay, that's the way I would explain it. Let's see how Rashi explains it. We have any time? We don't have any time. Okay, so we don't have time. Okay, so important message for everybody who's here.
Okay.
So it's now Erev Rosh Chodesh Elul, and for Chodesh Elul, I've decided that I'm going to take a sabbatical. What am I going to do? I'm going to go back to Kollel for Elul. go back to Kollel and also do some learning. So I've Rabbi Fabian. If you remember Rabbi Fabian, you learned with him the Gemora as well as I believe Sefer Chofetz Chaim. He's gonna be teaching during the time of Elul, and Bez Hashem will it should be a good thing for everybody, and we will be in touch.
But which, I don't know which number to go by, the same number that I'm calling in now, or is it a different number?
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we haven't spoken to Lou about this yet, actually, but I'm going to speak to him this afternoon. I'm hoping that he will graciously consent to be the host. So it'll be just like if I can't get on to the meeting and Lou is the one that's going to host the meeting. So it'll be Lou's number.
He'll have to send it again because Lou was a problem. Lou didn't get on immediately. You had to put a password in or some kind of. It wasn't automatic. Yours is going through automatic. Lou's wasn't. You got to type in more things.
So we got some.
Lou better send out information and see.
Yeah, you should
Okay.
send better an email with all the details of what to do.
Right. We need an email from Lou with all the details.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Take care.
A good Chodesh Elul, everybody.
You too, and be well. And we'll look forward to seeing you again. Learn well.
Yes. Okay. All the best.
All right.
Bye, Ellen. Bye, Roy. Bye, Phil.
Bye. See you.
Hello, Mom. Hello. Hello.